Honestly, I'm not really sure what the answer to this question is. It's easy to lapse, and I've had lapses in the past on projects that I've been working on, but I still have a lot of enthusiasm for this channel. It's just that things kind of got on top of me and it slowed me down, and then we unexpectedly hit that wall that I've been talking about, that wall of productivity, because the company that I worked for, due to incredibly poor management, went insolvent and closed down. So I am unemployed as of a couple of weeks ago. What that means is that I no longer have access to all of that equipment and other elements that I was using through that job for cheap gear, basically. Now, we've still already filmed stuff, don't worry, which will come out over the next few months. And I can still mostly film this kind of thing with my own cameras, my own setup, and I can still film at the studio. All my early the stuff I did in the studio, all those wizards, any video with a wizard robe is just filmed on all of my own equipment, so I can still do that sort of thing, and I will. But yeah, it's hit us a little bit hard on that side of things, and also being unemployed, whatever overheads I did have suddenly are a little bit more of a burden. And even before then, I was in a bit of a slump, and I wasn't pushing this channel as much as I should have done. And that just kind of compiled on top of that, and everything just sort of I just didn't want to do any work for a little while. But I think that the key is not to give up on this and to treat it like work. So I'm going to, whilst I've currently got not a huge amount else on my plate other than sending out job applications, I'm going to knuckle down and treat this like a job for a bit. I'm going to go into the studio as frequently as I can, film some stuff, make sure I'm editing constantly, getting things out, getting all the actual play stuff that we've done out, getting more videos. I'm going to revisit some of the rejected ideas, my previous video, my rejected ideas video. I'm going to revisit some of those ideas and see if there's anything that we can work up, because I need something to do and I've got time to do it now. So that video may be a bit moot, but I don't know for sure, but I will definitely work out something that I can do, and I will push hard on this now, I think, which I was semi-planning to do anyway, but now it's kind of a little bit more of a necessity. I'm not going to rely on this. I want to say, hey, I need a new job. I'm going to make YouTube my job, because that's sort of a bit madness. But I'm definitely going to play this angle a little harder than I had intended, and whilst I hunt for a new position, or just figure out what I want to do. Because I have also got the option of going freelance, which I've done before in the past as a sound recordist and designer. And there's also other elements of filmmaking. I've got access to some expertise and some elements that I didn't have before back then, the studio space, for example, and things that I could do there. So there's definitely a lot to consider in that field. But I don't want to be a sad sack and feel like I'm just making videos that are giving out empty promises. So I have been up to some stuff lately. I went ghost hunting. We went into a nuclear bunker in Essex for my stag do. Weirdly enough, it was my stag do. I like ghost hunting. I like horror stories. I like ghost stories. I like ghost hunting videos on YouTube. A lot of what I watch is that sort of thing. So yeah, I wanted to go ghost hunting. We went into a nuclear bunker in the middle of Essex, and from 9 till 3 in the morning or something. It was a long night. There was a whole bunch of people there doing the same sort of thing. We didn't see anything. Well, I haven't fully analysed the footage that I shot there, but we didn't particularly see much. There was some odd occurrences, but yeah, we didn't catch definitive proof of a ghost, which would have been fun. But we did have a good laugh, goofing around there. Then we just stayed in a little cottage and played board games for the rest of the weekend. We were there for the whole weekend. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. That's something I've wanted to do. I think I probably would do it again. So yeah, we did that, and that was a lot of fun. We also ran the mega game, which I've talked about on the channel before. So last weekend we ran the Trapped in New Arkham mega game. I will make a full video about it at some point to explain its evolution and what it was for anyone who's still unclear. But yeah, we ran that as a 25 players, I want to say, because we had a couple of extra players who joined. with 5 members of control, and like balancing everything. And we had it was an exploration focus, so people were going to the city map to explore and investigate various strange things that were happening, whilst everyone was trying to manage their faction and their incoming and outgoings. It went really well, really well. It really built to like a dramatic conclusion of the town coming together to try and either open a portal or close a portal, depending on which side they'd fallen. In the end, they managed to close the portal and to save the world, essentially. But yeah, it was chaotic and mad, and it came right down to the wire. And everyone seemed to have a lot of fun. I got a lot of compliments. I haven't looked through the feedback forms yet because I've given it a little bit of a buffer to decompress. But it went really well. People seem to have a great time, and I will definitely like polish it up a bit. There was a few areas that I thought, okay, well, this is unnecessary, or this is like a bit bloated, or this is a bit vague. So we'll polish it up a bit, and I'll definitely run it again, maybe later this year. I also went to HandyCon and did a little bit of filming, which I forgot to say in the video, so you've got this add-in voiceover here. It's a 3-day convention of just playing board games, and they do some awards and some other little events, and they have a few retailers there, but mostly it's just people packed full of playing board games. They've done it in different places, but at the moment it's in Milton Keynes at the Delta Marriott Hotel. It'll be back again in October, so yeah, HandyCon, give it a check out. I'll put a proper link below. But yeah, I was there doing a little bit of filming for them just for promotional purposes. But like I say, the crux of the things is that we are hitting that wall right now of what we can do. So I hugely appreciate everyone who subscribes to the channel and the people who support us on our Ko-fi page. I've been told that it's pronounced Ko-fi. Amazing people. Jan, who's our first ever contributor there. Amazing. Thank you very much for everything that you've given us over the months. And everyone else who's donated on there. There is a link below for anyone who wants to do that. I will do a proper push, and probably for like stuff like that over the next month or so. And I will also probably start streaming on Twitch, because it's something to do. I've got some spare time. I like the game. I will figure out something I can do on there, either stream gaming or maybe I'll stream my editing process whilst I'm working on various projects. I'll try and keep this video brief because I want to move on and I want to get on with other things. I just wanted to check in to say I'm still alive, I'm still here, just struggling by at the moment a little bit, but we are still here, and we've still got plenty of content. And speaking of which, episode 1 of the Fate Accelerated game will go out next Tuesday, or the coming Tuesday, Tuesday the 15th. I want to say 15th, that may be wrong, but Tuesday the 15th. That will go out, and then there will be an episode of that out hopefully every week. There might be a slight gap between the two series, but hopefully there'll be an episode of that every week for the next few months. I hope you enjoy what we did, what we created, something familiar in the actual play kind of design. Hopefully we added something a little bit to it, particularly with a Fate game, which is a very narrative driven game. Hopefully we've created a more story led game that maybe you would have seen on like D&D shows and stuff that are very mechanics heavy games, that like the minutiae is very important, whereas the minutiae isn't particularly important in Fate. So hopefully that will be well received. We look forward to seeing it. If you haven't seen our other ones, our Nice Marines, a Grant Hyatt one shot, and the 3-part Good Society game that we did, please do check those out as well. But yeah, no, this is just me checking in to say, hey, back, we're here doing stuff, and I really appreciate all of you. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe. If you enjoy our actual play stuff, then please do post it about. I'm off Twitter at the moment because Twitter is Twitter. Well, Twitter is not Twitter. Fuck Twitter. But I'm off Twitter at the moment, and I'm just on Facebook. I'm going to try and get into link my Instagram to my TikTok account and try and like work those more. I kind of neglect those a little bit, which is silly because it's like I work in a visual medium. I should be able to do fucking TikTok. I'm old, and we'll figure that one out. And yeah, but yeah, next week I should be doing a lot of filming at the studio, which will be a lot of fun. I will wrap up before I waffle on too much longer. But yeah, thanks again for subscribing to this channel. All the love is appreciated, and I will see you again really soon. The end.